Matt Damon.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Hump Day Wednesday, another wonderful episode of Boob Tube. I am your lovely co-host, Kari Platinum Pussy Anthony, but it's not Boob Tube if I don't have my other booby-full ladies with me, Casey Carter and Desirable Bottom, aka Desiree. And 4.
Are we not supposed to hear you?
I guess not. He decided to mute himself.
Hi, ladies. How's it going?
Hey,
Happy Wednesday.
hey.
Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day.
Good hump,
And
good hump.
23 days to Chicago Exotica.
Woo!
Yes, I'm excited. I fucking love Chicago. Oh, I freaking love Chicago.
Too late. It's already said.
I know. Where's our handy dandy?
You can't fucking swear on this, Kari.
Well, technically, you're not
right.
supposed to swear in the first minute. Whatever. Who cares?
Okay.
Anyways, how was your week, Casey?
Good. Busy.
I'm gonna have to say I question your answer because you definitely hesitated. You're like, good.
Yeah.
Because
those are the things you say when you have to. Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
it's like
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm gonna be positive because if I don't, this is gonna turn into a 30-minute tangent, and I don't want to waste Boob Tube talking about my work shit. Got you.
There you go.
Totally understand.
There you go.
Totally understand. It's been for me, I'm finishing up the final touches of like all of the designs the design work that goes into all of the things that need to be printed for Exotica and like all the booth stuff and the magazine. And so it has been a lot of work and sitting on my butt. Good times. But yeah, most of that's almost done. So it's really just like figuring out, I have to ship things in the next couple weeks. Well, the next week, because, I'm flying this time. I'm not driving. And so these are things that cannot go on the plane. Therefore, like my little buggy that I have to take with me because it's what I transport everything that's for the booth from the hotel to the convention center. And so I was like thinking about like, maybe I shouldn't bring it. And then I was like, fuck no. That shit is a lifesaver. It means I make one trip, not 10. Mm-hmm. So anyways, yeah, we're packing up to ship things and it's just been different. Very different.
Why did you decide to fly this time?
Well, because one, I'm in the process of getting another vehicle. So I personally don't have a reliable vehicle to drive out there, and I didn't really want to rent one because nobody is reliable enough to go with me. A lot of people are last minute not going. And so I was like, if I don't book this flight right now, while it's $200 round trip, I might be stuck without a way to get there. And that's not happening. So driving 11 hours by myself to Chicago was definitely not in the cards, and he has to work. So he's flying in Friday after work. I'm flying in Wednesday morning.
Whose airline did you find a $200 round trip ticket on?
Southwest. If you book it early enough in advance. I bought it like a month and a half ago. I got trip now.
Well, I was going to say, I can't fly Southwest from here to Chicago. I have to fly Delta. So that's why I was just
curious. Well, that's the Delta hub.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's Southwest. From here, Southwest doesn't go to O'Hare. Okay. It goes to whatever the other, not Midway. From Atlanta. Yeah, it goes to Midway. It doesn't go to O'Hare from here. So I have to fly Southwest to get to Chicago. I have to fly Delta. I fly Southwest everywhere else, but I have to fly Delta to get to Chicago.
That sucks. Yeah, I fly Southwest and I got the ticket for $200 round trip, 2 bags, 2 check-ins. I was like, oh, given.
Nice.
It's also the cheaper route. If I drive, I spent $200 one way in gas. So when we drove last year.
Isn't because you're flying out of Baltimore, right? Isn't that their hub?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or one of their hubs or whatever. Because I was going to say, because even for Miami, I think I have my flight for Miami already. I still couldn't get a $200 ticket to Miami, so it probably
from
has
Atlanta.
To do with, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I booked my ticket quite a while ago, and so yeah, I'm flying, which means it's kind of nice though. I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind driving because it's fun sometimes. But the drive from here to Chicago was boring. It's literally driving through like Ohio and Indiana and Illinois, and it's literally fields of nothing. So I'm a horrible passenger in environments like that because I'm literally like. So with that being said, it took forever to get there and back. And yeah, so doing it by myself just isn't the thing. But yeah, so I'm flying, and so we're shipping everything out in advance. Fun.
Cool.
Yes. But yeah, we have this. I'm putting out a magazine. My first print issue will come out at Chicago Exotica. Actually, they're all going to come out at ExxxOTICA's except for one. It'll be the early bird special. But yeah, I have them coming out. My summer edition will be at Miami. My Halloween edition or fall edition will be at New Jersey. And yeah, it's pretty dope. So with that being said, let's talk about what we've been watching.
Okay. So I saw Marlon Wayans' God Loves Me on HBO Max. If you haven't seen it, it is an hour long or hour plus long special of why God loves him. And it has everything to do with Chris Rock, Will Smith, and Jada Pinkett Smith. And he basically tells the story of how he knows each of these people and how each of these people popped up into his life at a certain period in time. And so he tells the story about meeting Chris Rock when he was young. Chris Rock got a part in one of his brother's movies that was supposed to be his part. And so he was mad at Chris Rock for that. And then when he was 18 years old or whatever, he just, attempted to be a stand-up comedian, and Chris Rock shows up to his set and basically heckled him, like sat at the steps at the foot of the stage and heckled him. And he said that he would never do comedy again. So for, umpteen years, he never did stand-up comedy. He instead went into making movies. And then he talked about how he knew God loved him when on March 27th at approximately 10:32 p.m., 10:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:32 Pacific Time. And then he launches into what happened with Chris Rock getting smacked. And then he talks about how he met Jada Pinkett Smith and how he thought he was in love with her and la, 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 and how they were bosom buddies and how she'd stay at his house and he'd stay at her house. And then again, he drops that but then at 10:32, Eastern Standard Time, Pacific, la la la, and then he talks about the slap, and that's how he knew Jada wasn't the woman for him, because that happened. And then he talks about how he met Will Smith for the first time at Jada's place when he discovered that they were dating and whatnot, and he launches into how Will Smith, like how in Black Hollywood, there's one actor at a time. And what he means is that at one moment, there's this one Black actor who's all in everything. And then there's another Black actor who's in everything and another Black actor who's in everything. And he said for years, Will Smith was the guy. He held the position longer than anybody else. But, and then he, goes on to talk about how he's this and he's that and da, 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 da. And that Will Smith is the only Black actor to save the world, and he's referencing men. Okay, so he's the only Black actor to actually be allowed to save the world. Other people have been able to do things, save a city, save a town, save a family, but he's the only one who gets to save the world, and he's done it more than once between Independence Day and Men in Black and whatever. So then he talks, and then he, wraps it up by saying, and so at 10:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I knew God loved me because, and it just, at first I wasn't following the joke to the fullest. And then at some point I realized, oh my God, this entire hour is going to be about that. And I have to admit, I loved it because I loved Chris Rock's special. Mainly the last 10 minutes of it where he talked about all of that. But I loved how they tell this story of this incident and the fact that his whole life has been involving these three people. And this one incident involved all these three people that he at some point admired, loved, looked up to, and how crazy the incident was. And I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Marlon, but that was actually really, really good. Really good. And I'm mad because he did it in Atlanta and I had no idea. But anyway, God loves me.
Chris Rock did his in Baltimore and I had no idea either.
Okay, so God Loves Me on HBO Max, or maybe it's HBO, maybe it's, I don't know which one it is, but I watched it on HBO Max and it was very good. Very good.
Good job. Desiree, what's on your list?
Okay, so on Netflix, I watched I See You. I don't know if you guys seen that one. It's kind of like where, so this guy is like an agent or a special, like he's like the special cop or something, and then, but it's his kid. Like his kid goes like is very rebellious, and like the mom's trying to like keep everything together and stuff. She has to take like medication and stuff because things aren't going her way, so she's self-medicating. And anyways, the dad, I'm not gonna like go into lots and lots of detail and spoil it, but the dad at the end, like it's kind of like a mindfuck kind of movie or kind of show.
What's it called?
I would most definitely recommend it. It's called I See You on Netflix.
I see.
I feel like I've seen it.
I See You.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know I've seen it in the list, but I don't remember. Is it new?
Yeah, Helen Hunt and Greg Harper, who played John Tenney, who played on The Closer. He was one of the cops. One of the cops on The Closer.
There we go.
I was going to say, you said Helen Hunt. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan, okay. But I did like it. I liked her in Pay It Forward.
Well, I thought it was a really good show anyways. I find it was like I said, it kind of was like, if you don't pay attention to it, then you won't really get it. Mm-hmm. But just like the whole back and forth and, like having, it was weird because I just don't want to say it because then it'll give it away. So.
Well, okay, so let me say this. It says, as he searches for a missing child, a small town detective uncovers a malicious presence lurking in the crevices of his family's already broken home. Just the choice of words. The choice of words alone makes you go, what? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I watched Swarm.
That's the
Beyonce movie. Yeah. Well, it's a series, and it's based loosely on events that took place about a fan that was obsessed with Beyonce and allegedly killed themselves right after Lemonade came out. And so this is they changed the name, but Swarm is obviously like the hive, the beehive, and they changed the characters. But so it's interesting because it just really expands on like how pop culture and our youth is so engrossed in fame, and like that these fans are such fans that they would be willing to kill for the love and the potential to meet. And in this series, obviously, these are not all true events. The true events are at the beginning, and that's how the friend died and whatever. But then they end up, it turns into like they create these little situations about this girl who is adamant about going to meet. In the show, I forget what she said the name was, but it's essentially they're talking about Beyonce. And so her obsession, everything is about her obsession with going to meet Beyonce. And then she gets the chance to meet her and fucks it up. Then she ends up in a situation where she gets another chance to meet her and ends up in this like Seattle cult house. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But it was interesting. It was very interesting because as this girl is going around and doing these, so she starts stalking some of the people that have talked shit on Twitter. That's where it gets like interesting and weird at the same time. Is like she's scrolling through, you know, the Hive comments, and there are people that are obviously talking shit and are like, oh, you know, she's washed up, she's this, she's that. And so she goes and like stalks them. Like one of them, she starts working at the strip club that one of them frequents. And yeah, it's just a whole hot mess of Hive activity.
Hive activity.
It was interesting because it was very different. It was very different. It was a little gory, a little bit, you know, I wasn't real keen on the whole like killing stuff, but it was different because as you're watching this character who literally is so obsessed, it just is like, wow, somebody could be that hyper focused on just one thing that's like really not even a reality. It's fantasy type thing. So yeah, it's crazy. It was interesting, very interesting. Because, you know, I love watching stuff that's like psychological thrillers when you're like, what was this person thinking when they were doing this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But when you think about when people become, you know, stalkers, they're hyper focused on that person. And that's the situation. So I'm not killing to go to a Beyonce concert. I'm just saying.
I'm not even paying to go to a Beyonce concert.
Same. I saw them fighting for the Taylor Swift concert in Las Vegas, and some of those tickets were $10,000. And I was like, I wouldn't go see Taylor for $10.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, and I mean, I'm not even really trying to throw shade, other than to say, I'm not spending that kind of money to sit not close enough to see up close. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's I remember looking at Beyonce tickets and thinking, no. And even my mom, when Adele came through Atlanta one year, and my mom was like, hey, you want to go see Adele? I'm like, how much are the tickets? And she said, I'm like, hell no, I don't want to go see Adele.
No. The only concert I've been to, Boyz II Men, LL Cool J, Sweet Sensation, and that was a free concert. And at the time, we had the hookup, so we got to go backstage and we met Adam Curry and all the, you know, stars briefly. It wasn't like anything super exciting. It was like, hey, how you doing? Oh my god, I just walked past Boyz II Men. So that was cool. But the tickets that I did pay for was Belle Biv DeVoe, Johnny Gill, and I can't remember who the headliner was. And then I saw Key Sweat. There was Key Sweat, Johnny Gill, Belle Biv DeVoe. That tells you how long ago that was. Mm-hmm. I saw New Edition. I saw New Kids on the Block. And I went to LA Rock the Bells, which was like Ice Cube and like all the, you know, old school West Coast people. So I think I went to something else, but I don't remember what it was. And I remember the most I paid was like $50. And that for me was like, I don't know that there's anyone that I would pay that kind of money. Never $10,000. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. That's a down payment on a house. Fuck that.
No.
That's a car outright. Like,
that's crazy. But you know what? By the same token, if you've got that kind of money to spend, I guess that's what you do.
You can't bring it with you.
Yeah, I just know if there was something that I wanted to do that I would say was just like tossing my money into the garbage can. Excuse me. I don't think it would be a concert. It would have to be something, because you know what I'm saying.
Something like an experience.
Yeah. I needed to have a significant, long-lasting effect, not a flash in the pan. And all I got for my $10,000 was this cheap ass T-shirt.
Stop it!
Right?
I would do Fiji, like a bungalow.
But that's the thing, though. I agree to that. But that's the thing. The Beyonce shows, if you bought the $1,000 ticket, you got front row seat, you got backstage pass, you got meet and greet, and you got elevated, merch. And I'm like, it's still not worth $1,000 for that. And that's I'm just pulling 1,000 out of the air, but it was more than that. I'm just
hashtag know your worth.
Anywho,
I mean, I would do it. I would do it for like the Maldives, or like a bungalow over a beautiful, scenic, fish swimming underneath you, and like that whole tropical thing. Like, I would spend $10,000. In fact, I've considered it multiple times about spending anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 for like a week getaway at this, like, these bungalows that have a private pool and these huge bathtubs, and like, because that for me is an experience that I feel is worth it. You know what I mean?
It's a lifetime memory.
Right.
So yeah, you spend the money for that. Because for me, it's the huts that are lined up in the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I want that location.
They have them. They're like,
I know they have them. I just need to make sure it's not hurricane season or
for sure,
typhoon season
or shark breeding season or some shit. Yeah. I'd like to stick my feet in the pool. Right. I mean, in the ocean, and be able to, not come back with nubs.
Yeah. Well, that being said, then you got to be there at the shallow ends.
Right. Feet are not fish food.
No.
Fish are. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, so what else are you watching, Casey?
Next on my list is Ghost, right? Which is the one with the sun. I don't recall.
Power Book.
That 2. One. Okay. Thank you. I'm like, I can't remember. Okay. I can't remember. But
if you can't remember things, you can't talk about it. That's a new rule. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
it's back on? Has it been on for a while?
It's
episodes.
On.
Okay.
It's
okay. I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's I was curious to see where they were going to go with it, and I love the fact that that the oldest son, Mary J's oldest son, Kane. He's he figured, like, he gets this assignment to figure out who killed Mary J's first son,
Zeke.
And thank you. And I'm like, first of all, I'm trying to understand, Dad, why are you dumb enough to ask your son to go figure this out? And you didn't think he'd actually get it figured out? And that's Kane's whole problem, is his father doesn't give him enough credit as to how good he is at being a criminal.
Him very much. So
yeah, and so it was funny. He's like, go find out who killed him. Okay, cool. One stop, he's got 2 people he's burning with a blowtorch, getting answers, and dude figures out in that moment, oh, okay, I that was Dad. Okay, I got this. And I don't know what this kid's gonna have to do to convince his father that he's as gangster as he says he is. I don't know if he's just gonna have to kill his father, and then we'll know for sure. But
he's not gonna kill. Well, maybe he might.
Well, it all
I think
depends.
Mary's gonna kill him, though.
I was gonna say it all depends, because if she,
I think Monet is gonna
if she finds out, it's a wrap.
Well, she will. She will. She's gonna find out, and I don't even think she's gonna think twice about it. She is just literally gonna kill him. But I think she's gonna torture him, because if you've noticed, she has been. I mean, she's fucked up. She is fucked up. Like, the Monet that we knew like the other 2 seasons is not the Monet we have today. Monet now is extremely heartbroken, because just as she was getting an opportunity to build a relationship with her son as her son, not as the auntie, he's been taken away from her. And so I feel like she's going to torture Lorenzo. I feel like this is going to be something that's drawn out over a long period of time, that she's going to like take him somewhere and like torture him, because she wants him to feel the way she feels, because she's, so heartbroken that her son was taken from her. So I don't think she's going to just like one and done. I feel like this is going to be something where it's like, we really see a different side of Monet that is vicious and, making him pay.
See, and I think the torture is going to come from Kane. I think Kane is going to pimp him for as long as he can, and then Monet's going to find out, and she's just going to let her rip. I think this is finally Kane's moment, where not only can he prove himself to his father, he's now going to be able to run his father. And because
but also
Kane
prove
is
himself
also
to Monet.
Monet
thinks of him as a fuck up.
Yes, yes.
She very much thinks of him as a fuck up. So I feel like for both of his parents, this is his opportunity to step up and be like, you have so much faith in Tyreek. Now it's time you have faith in me.
Remember, they both think that he's the go-to guy. Meanwhile, and that's another thing. Their father, oh my God, he's so shady to have his own son jumped to prove a point. Really, dude? And then it's funny, because didn't Kane figure that out too? Or, I mean,
when he confronted him about killing Zeke, because the dad was, I don't remember exactly what happened, but something was being said or whatever, and then Kane was like, listen, I know you fucking killed Zeke, and I also know that you had Drew jump, because the only people that knew about the situation was them.
Kane told his father that Drew was still hooking up with that dude, the basketball player.
Yes.
And after that conversation, that's when Drew got jumped. So, yeah. So I'm telling you, Monet she's gonna wax him good. I don't think she.
What about Lauren? Lauren is still alive.
Oh, listen, that's a whole
Effie's
thing right there. That's a whole thing right there.
He's gonna kill Effie.
You think so?
I don't care for Effie anyways.
I don't either. I don't think I don't think he'll kill her. I think he is okay. So Kane is a reactionary. Kane snaps and he does things. Tariq, on the other hand, he's very thoughtful, and he likes to plan and place and strategize and let dominoes fall.
He has a lot to lose.
Yeah, I think
doesn't have
he would
probably
Tariq would probably do something to set her up before he actually killed her. Now, I'm saying that, except for the fact that we did just see Tariq snap.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And kill that dude. So
I don't remember his name, some little goofy name, but yeah.
But that was him snapping, and that's so far out of his character.
I didn't see that happening. But that's more that he's morphed into his dad. We are seeing him. We are literally seeing Ghost, as Ghost graduated from college and turned into, who he was as we met him in the first episode in the pilot. It seems like it's the natural order of things, and that, Tyreek is just getting tired of these people trying to pimp him for money because the lawyer was pimping him for money. This kid was pimping him for money. This kid's dad was pimping him for money. Like, all these people are in his pockets, and he is so tired of having to run up. Mecca was like, all these people keep having him, like, threatening him. The one about the kid, the one that was helping him, the lawyer that was helping him get the custody of the kid. All these people are running him like a puppet. Like, if you don't do this, then I'm going to do that. If you don't do this, I'm going to do that. And he is so tired of doing it and still ending up with the repercussions of the situation. So he's like, fuck this shit. I'm just going to take this one out.
Well,
I'm done.
So to that point, I have concerns over what would happen if he figured out that his boy and Effie set him up so that he would agree to selling product at the family business. Because remember, he didn't want to have any parts of that. And his boy, very, very, very slick and sly,
Braden, went to the politician and said, don't hire him as a intern. I want him to come work for me, and paid him.
But we didn't see that until after he sets it up so that he sees the co-workers in their cocaine high, in their obsession. He sees that first. We see him set that up first. Then you find out that he created the moment for Tariq to even be in the building by having the internship taken from him. So I worry that his boy may get the wrath of Tariq based on that.
Well, I don't know, because Braden saved the day. So I feel like in this moment, Tariq will definitely be torn because a part of him will feel deceived.
Jason, I'm definitely laying on the couch. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. But not only will he feel deceived, but he'll also feel somewhat like, I can't really do anything because this is the same person who allowed me to have my freedom. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for Braden, Tariq would be locked up. So it's interesting how we're seeing the web work of this spider web. And so tune in. Another episode of Power will air Thursday night, Friday morning, 12 a.m., whatever time it comes on. But yeah, Friday.
Nice. It used to be on Sundays. Now it's not. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. It's a Friday show now.
Cool beans.
Yes. Okay, Desiree, what's next on your list?
On my list is another Netflix show called The Night Agent. I just got through one episode. Did you guys see it?
I love
The Night Agent? Let me put that on my list.
It's very good. Very good. So you're gonna talk about the first episode, right?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So there's this guy, and he works in. Well, I like it because I've been to Washington a few times, like Washington D.C. So I really like I can kind of relate a little bit. And it's just, talking about the White House, and this guy used to work for the FBI, but now he's like another like secret agent, or like he still works with the FBI, but we don't know very much about it. Like, it's kind of mysterious. And then so in the first episode, correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, because like I said, I watched it, but it was kind of whatever. Anyways, so there's this girl, and her family worked for the FBI. She didn't really know because it was like all hidden from her. And then so she finds out her. Are they parents, grandparents? I don't know.
Aunt and uncle.
But it's her relatives. Aunt and uncle. There we go. Mm-hmm. Her relatives are dead. She finds them dead, and she ends up going to their house. Yeah, and this guy ends up saving her, or they like, it's his boss that tells him to go and like save her and like take her out of this situation. And then it's like all chained up, like, you know how there's like hierarchy and stuff in the FBI and this and that, and yeah, it's a good watch.
It really is, because it starts off, the very first scene of the show is him on the subway, and
there we go.
him on the subway, and you see him interacting with, I think it was a kid or someone on the subway, and then he happens to notice that a hooded stranger takes his backpack and slides it under one of the chairs and then gets off the train. And so because he works for the government, he goes over to the bag and he opens the bag and discovers there's a bomb in the bag. And he pulls the emergency brake, he stops the train, he gets everybody, push them, gets them off the train, and the bomb blows up as everybody's being taken off the train. So, fast forward, he gets this assignment that kind of sort of seems like a punishment, because he basically is supposed to sit in this room for like a 10-hour, 12-hour shift, and there's a phone with no phone numbers. And if the phone rings, you've got to go through this book, because whoever's calling is supposed to call out whatever code they have so that you can identify who that person is that's calling. And it's a room, no windows, just a clock, and all you're there to do is answer the phone. And this is a phone that never rings. So here he is, having just started this job, and the phone rings, and it's the girl. And the girl's aunt and uncle said to her, call this number and say these words. And so she calls the number, she says the words, and according to the book, he's supposed to ask additional questions that elicit additional answers. Well, she didn't know the other questions or have the other answers. And technically, he should have hung up, but no, he engages her in conversation, and he has 911 send police out to the house and everything, because she was actually in the house or was escaping from the house when the intruders came and killed her family. So the show starts off banging. Like the first scene is him on the train. The next scene is him getting this assignment and having this encounter with the girl. So you never really even fully settle in. I don't even think like they say his name, but you don't really know his name right away, because it's popping. Things are happening. And
Agreed.
there's so much going on, because he's got a background, because apparently his father was considered a traitor for some reason, and he's being looked at as a traitor. They're accusing him, even though he saw someone place the bag under the chair, and he later tried to chase this person down. They were still trying to accuse him of having set the whole incident up. And then his father is supposedly a traitor, and you find out that the girl that he's trying to rescue, she's got a sordid background. Something went off, like she's a tech genius, but something went wrong with her business, and so she's staying with her aunt and uncle because she lost everything. And the guy's boss, she's got background. Like everybody's got some story that makes their relationships with one another a little suspect. Everybody's guilty of something, and then maybe they're not. No. They are. Like that's how because I know you said you only saw one episode, but that's how, and I think I've seen 3 or 4. That's how it progresses. You're constantly hearing that there's someone is suspect, because the aunt and uncle also told the niece, don't trust anyone. And the only person she trusts is the guy who answers the phone, the night agent.
Yeah.
It's the only person she trusts. So it's really very good. Very good.
I love shows and movies where they get you to like change your mind. And I like being confused. I like when I don't know the plot. I like when I don't know the ending. It intrigues me as an intellectual to be in a situation where I think I figured it all out, only to find out I have no clue. I love that. And especially with characters, because it's so easy to not like somebody. And then when you're like, because I'm like, oh, that leads me to the one I want to share, which is School Spirits. And School Spirits. So School Spirits is this high school girl. I think she's in 10th or 11th grade or senior, whatever. She's like in high school, and she gets murdered but she doesn't remember how she got murdered. And so school spirits is these are the spirits of other students and people that lost their lives at the school from the beginning of, like 1950 whatever, because it's a school that's been around for a while. And so she's being introduced to the other side, and it's showing them living their life in the afterlife at the school while the school is still taking, you know what I mean? Like both dimensions. Like, so she's, walking up to her friends, and one of her friends has can actually hear her. And so, which is something that the other spirits have never experienced. So there's all these situations where one, they all know how they died, so they can share their story. Like one is a jock who died on the football field on like homecoming night. And so he stays in his football uniform and, runs around like a jock and, does jock things. Well, he just recently in this last episode, she says to him, like, you are in another life now. You don't have to please your mother by doing, because he explains that he didn't even really want to do football, but it made his mom so happy. Like, and not even that it made her happy. Like she was a very like a dance mom, but a football mom. You know how parents are when they're like, you're going to play football, whether you really like it or not. And that's what he explains is like, I was really doing this because I was pretty much forced to do it. And she's like, well, you don't have to do that anymore because your mom, but his mom still goes to every game, every homecoming game. And so, he then becomes liberated because he realizes that in the afterlife, she doesn't know what he's doing. So he doesn't have to keep playing that role anymore. And so anyways, it's her with the friend who can talk to her. And now the boyfriend that she was with, who was cheating on her with another, like it's a whole, soap opera story trying to figure out who killed her. So none of us know who killed her. And so it's been interesting watching how they're like, at first you thought it was the boyfriend. Then it comes to, you come to find out the evidence shows that he wasn't the one that killed her. But at first he looked suspect. Everything he was doing looked like he was the killer. Then they turned it into one of the teachers. And then it's like, maybe the janitor did it. Now could the girl that he was cheating with, was she the one involved? And like, there's this whole story that's unraveling each episode that leads you towards who the fuck killed this girl. And it's super interesting because it's like, the mom was an alcoholic, and, then the girl that passed away, that got killed, that doesn't know how she got killed, her mother is an alcoholic, and like she's been sober because she wants to stay sober to find her daughter. She still thinks the daughter's alive. They haven't found the body.
Wait. So the main character person, you're saying they haven't found her body?
No, they haven't found her body. So technically she's still missing, but she knows she got killed.
Interesting.
They just don't, she just doesn't know who killed her. She cannot recollect how, she ended up on the other side, but she knows that her body is on the school property because according to their logic, in order for him to be able to talk to her, and for her soul to still be there, her body had to still be there. So that's the theory or the allegation. I don't know how true it is, but
so does that mean that everybody else's body is somewhere on the school property too?
Not necessarily that theirs is on the property, but they passed away on the property.
Okay.
Which is why their soul or why their spirit is stuck there.
Okay. So then you're saying the reason why they think she may still be there is because everybody was killed at the school, and since they haven't found her body, it must still be there.
Something to that effect. Or she was killed at the school and then maybe her body was moved.
Okay.
But she died on the school property is the theory. And they found blood and like, her belongings and stuff. But yeah, that's the theory. So, but she's stuck there at the school in the afterlife while the school is still continuing. So she sees her friends, she sees her teachers, you know what I mean? Like life is still going on without her, but they're actively trying to find her. So it's interesting. And it's interesting just, how she's battled with, does she even want to find out because she's afraid that if her mom is told that they found her body, will that send her into drinking again? Because right now she's sober because she wants to find the daughter and be sober when the daughter comes home so that the daughter will want to stay. Because in her mind, she feels like the daughter ran away because the mom is an alcoholic.
Okay.
So it's interesting, very interesting.
What's it on?
I want to say it was Paramount Plus, but let me look it up. I totally forgot about it actually until we started talking about the other show. School Spirits is on Paramount Plus. I was right. And
Okay.
I can't think of any actors or actresses that look familiar, so I couldn't tell you their names. But yeah, it's just interesting little dynamic, especially like the afterlife people and then, you know, the current life people. It's cute little, I mean, and like I said, it's a mystery. I love trying to unlock the mystery. Anyways, yeah, School Spirits. I can't believe I forgot that.
Groovy.
Is that with Allison Brie? Let me look. Is it Allison Brie? Yo, no say. I don't know. Allison Brie.
While you're looking that up, I just got to read it. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was going to say, while you're looking that up, I wanted to read what Alex said, which was, welcome to BoobTube on YouTube Live, the show that gives the people what they want. Now, without further ado, the moment we've been waiting for, here are your co-hosts, Casey Carter, Kari, and Desiree. I'm sorry, I got a giggle out of that. I just had to read that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the cast is Peyton Lewis as Maddie, Milo Manheim, Wally Clark, Kiara Picardo. Yeah, I don't know any of these people either. Nicole Herrera, Spencer McPherson, Nick, what is that? Pugliese, and Christian Flores.
Doesn't sound like Allison Brie is one of them. No.
I don't think so.
So, we are, anything else that we want to add? I mean, we got a couple more minutes left. I say we close up shop early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jay's ready for that too. He's ready to go, you know, eat his pizza and drink his beer. But with that being said,
I'm actually eating my pizza right now. It's
you're stuffing your face sitting on your sofa.
Pineapple on pizza or not?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm with it.
Yes.
100%.
Oh, yes.
He's like, I ain't having it.
Yes. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We're super happy to have you here. You know, we are embarking on dose years. Wait a minute.
Oh man, I feel
on 3.
No,
I think we're on 3.
Are we 3?
Yes, this was in 2020.
So 21, 22, yeah. 23. Wow. It was April of 2020. Well, remember, I wanted to just...
We watched Tiger King. That was the first show we talked about.
Yes, it was everybody was talking about it then.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it was the hottest thing because we were all stuck in the house and everybody in the entire universe was watching Tiger King.
It's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we moved on.
Yeah, we've moved on to like...
We've moved on.
Yeah, it's gone downhill since then.
Yeah. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep it locked on YouTube and EXXXOTICA.tv. However, we are going to be taking another brief hiatus. Am I right, Jay?
Yes. Next week we're off. I will be dipping my balls in the geysers of Iceland.
Okay.
Or what are they, geysers? Or are they hot springs? Or are they hot springs?
I don't know what they are, but
I don't know.
You mentioned your balls. You lost me there.
I was gonna say that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
wherever you're dipping your balls, that's between you and your scrotum.
And the wall. And the wall.
Thank you, Desiree.
Oh my God! The last thing I'm gonna remember is Desiree singing. That's gonna be stuck in my head for the next week and a half.
In Vietnamese. So. Is it safe to assume that we're pretty much taking off the month of April and we'll return following?
Well, let's see. Let me open the calendar real quick.
Yeah, open up your handy dandy calendar.
So the 5th.
Where else will your balls be the next week?
I mean, my balls will be back in Philadelphia on the 12th, so I'm okay with that. But definitely,
no on the
yeah.
19th.
Why don't we? Well, let's do the 12th. Definitely not the 19th. Definitely not the 26th. We got one more show in us left this month.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that work?
The 19th it is. We will see you guys on April the 19th.
12th. I thought you said the 12th.
12th. No, the 19th is like,
yeah.
19th
That's what I
will
said
be
no
in Chicago.
to. Okay. My bad. Yep. So that's April the 19th. Come back.
Yep.
We will
12th.
see you all then.
12th.
The 12th. Why am I stuck
12th.
on the 19th? Jesus.
All right. So everybody, we'll see you on the 19th.
12th. No, we will not see you then. We will see you April 12th, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on EXXXOTICA.tv. Make sure you subscribe, share our content, go look at the hundreds of other shows that we've had, and we'll see you then. So, where's our pink boxes?
Oh my
we'll
God,
just fuck the pink boxes today.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Almost forgot. Here we go. There you go.
Yeah, pink boxes.
Here we go.
Looks good to me. Boom, boom, boom.
Desiree's playing the butt bongos on the pink boxes.
To the window, to the balls.
No. All over our walls.
No.
Lord help
She's
us.
Congoing on your balls.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you on the 12th. Have a wonderful couple of weeks and watch lots of TV. Come back with your show suggestions and hear what we're watching and see what's, on our TVs. But
till next time.
Yeah, like Jason does.
Oh my goodness. Back to you, Jay.
Wait for it.
Oh, yeah.